Hello, everyone. I am Rydell Samuelson, ministry intern here at First United Methodist Church of Elgin, and this is your motivational moment from the Bible. These moments are meant to further our discussion about the sermon this last week. As I started off thinking about this week's sermon, I knew that we were in the middle of our Being Called series. So on Sunday, I talked about my call story. Really, it was my faith journey. But I've been reflecting on it a lot lately. Where I came from, who and what helped me get to where I am today. I have a lot of people to thank for this journey and the place where I am now. I'm in my final semester of seminary. I never thought I would be here. When I was in college, this was the last place I thought I would be. If my college plan would have worked out, I'd be teaching in North Dakota. Preferably, I'd be teaching math to middle schoolers. And there's nothing wrong with that plan. I would be happy if that was the path that I had chosen instead. But I heard and acknowledged my call that I had been pushing away. I accepted the fact of going into seminary and becoming a pastor. Is that the only way I could have gotten into ministry? No, I could have done ministry in a lot of different ways. But this is where I'm feeling called to help and lead a church. My sermon the other day was titled Reflecting on the Calling, which was myself reflecting and talking about my call story. So today, let us talk about the living into your calling. I've noticed something about all of my sermons here so far. They all include your calling. We had Lady Sunday, where I talked about how we're doing awesome works, but how can we change them to reach more people? Then, the next Sunday, I talked about stewardship, about how are you living out your covenant of participating with your presence, your prayers, your gift, your service, and your witness. So let's now reflect on those two topics. It has been over a month since I talked about that covenant we all made. But let's start somewhere easier. Where are you on your faith journey? How did you get there? For some of us, we are Methodists on our faith journey. And we are Methodists because we are born into the denomination. Some of us became Methodists because of loved ones who were already Methodist, so we followed suit. And some of us became Methodists because we felt aligned with the Methodist values. That is the awesome part. No matter which path you are all on, we're all on that same journey. As I said the other day, I am on the path because I was born into it. But I chose to stay in the Methodist denomination. I could have gone down a different path and chose a different denomination. But I feel like my values align with the Methodist values more, so I stayed. You should be in a faith group where you feel like your values and their values align. You should feel comfortable in your faith group. You should feel safe and loved when you have a problem and you need help. Do you feel that you can be your true, authentic self when you are in the church? And if not, what makes you feel that way? Is it the other people? Or is it the way you think other people are going to judge you? I worry about that part. I worry about what other people are going to think about me. But I do my best to not let that get in the way of my mission or the work that I am doing. One way to let other people's thoughts not get in your way is remembering that your faith is between you and God. It is not up to the other people to decide for you. This has been very helpful for me during seminary. I have learned a lot of ideas from other people, and I use them as stepping stones for my faith. I've learned where I stand and what I think. I get to decide what practices I use in my faith. Some people like to meditate. Some people like to keep prayer journals. Some like to listen to faith podcasts. And some people like to read scriptures and reflect on it, just to name a few. So I want to read a scripture verse and do some reflecting with you. Mark 16:15. He said to them, "Go into the world and preach the gospel to all creation." This is Mark's version of the commission Jesus gave the disciples to preach the gospel, the good news, to all of creation. And what is the good news? That Jesus saved us through his sacrifice, that God's love and grace is given to all people. No one is outside of that love. We are all able to be a part of this love and grace. So cool. We now know what the gospel is in a nutshell. That first part, go into the world and preach. Now, does it mean just preach? That would be way too much talking for anyone to listen to. So let's change the words a little bit. Go into the world and show the gospel to all creation. Now I like that better. Go into the world and show the gospel. So how are you showing the world the gospel, the love of God? Is it in word and deed? What are you doing to show God's love? This is the part of answering your call. What do you feel called to do? Is it to help lead mission projects? Or is it to start or participate in Bible studies? What about leading an adult group? This could be a time for fellowship and just talk about life and other stressors you have. Maybe it's being part of a prayer group. Whatever you feel called to is what you should be trying to do. So what are the ways that help you find spiritual peace? And how can you share that with other people? Maybe something you do could help other people. Remember where you came from in your faith journey. Remember who helped you get there. You might just be one of those people in someone else's story. Being a Christian isn't a solo job. It is a community project. So how are you being part of the community? The song that I want to close us off with is called "For Everyone Born." It's a beautiful song about how we are the creators of justice and joy. We are the ones called to do the work. So listen, reflect upon these words, and have a great week.